Hey guys, it's Zach from Say What Zach. NHL action is over tonight. So we're doing the quick review of the games. Some big games tonight. So going to get ahead and get out into this. Sorry, I'm a little tired. One of the kiddies are sick, so we've been dealing with him. He's got a little bit of cold or flu, so he's been keeping us up and having to take care of him. So a little tired right now, but we'll be fine. We'll get through it. So today is Tuesday, January 14th. Let's get into the action. 11 games, I believe it was, on tonight. So we'll start off with the Buffalo Sabres and the Golden Knights. The Knights are struggling right now. That's the key thing here. They have dropped now down to, what, 4th, 5th in the division? I know it's by 2 points, 3 points, but still. They've lost a couple games in a row. Shutout against the Columbus Blue Jackets last game, and they lose tonight against the Buffalo Sabres, 4-2. So big win for Buffalo. They are starting to pull themselves out of mediocrity and trying to call themselves back up the standings. It's a long shot, but they are trying, which is good to see for Buffalo and their fans. The Golden Knights, yeah, they just need to, again, something's off with the Golden Knights right now. They need to get that figured out soon, because this division, these teams are all winning. They're all continuously getting points. So if you go on a couple game losing streak, that could pretty much decide if you're top of the division or a wild card. So yeah, Golden Knights got some work to do. Next game, Tampa Bay going in and beating LA Kings. This was a 4-3 shootout win for the Bolts. They do come back from being down 2-0 in the first period. They were down 2-0 early in the first, and they came back and scored 2 more in the first to tie it, and then end up winning it. But yeah, it was a close one. It was a really close one against the Kings team that is, again, pretty much going to be sellers at the trade deadline. Everyone's looking at Alec Martinez and Tyler Toffoli as the 2 big ones they're trying to get rid of. But yeah, the Kings, they have a little fight with them. You can't hold them. You can't count them out without putting a little effort in first. Kind of like the New Jersey Devils as of late and the Ottawa Senators. You can't quite count this team out, or you're going to pay for it. And Tampa almost did again, and they've already paid several times against Senators a few times this year. Yeah, so Tampa's got to pick it up a little bit against some of these teams. They probably think they're a little bit that they should win. They need to pick it up a little bit more. They can't relax against these teams, because yeah, they almost lost again 2 points. They do need the key pace of the Boston Bruins. Toronto goes in and plays New Jersey Devils. Toronto wins 7-4. That defense and goaltending right now is struggling in Toronto. That's just a fact. If you're a Toronto fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You've seen these scores. They've been getting scored on 4, 5, 6 goals a game. Can't allow that. The other night they allowed 8 against the Florida Panthers. You can't be doing that if you're going to be winning any games and making the playoffs this year. Luckily, they do win 7-4. Matt Sundin, I haven't talked about them in a long time. Rasmus Sandin comes up. He gets called up. He gets 2 points in tonight's game, so big game for him. First time being called up by the big league again after the World Juniors, where he played pretty well in the World Juniors. And Austin Matthews gets the hat trick. So he has 34 goals on the year. Austin Matthews. Definitely going to hit 50. Curious to see how many he's going to get. And Mitch Marner had 30-something assists now. Those two together, amazing. They should have been together a long time ago. Again, as a big Mitch Marner fan, I like seeing those two together, getting points left and right. I love it. So anyways, Toronto wins. Your next game, the New York Islanders go in. The Detroit Red Wings go in and get annihilated by the New York Islanders. No surprise there, right? Red Wings suck. 8-2 is your final. Yeah, 8-2. Red Wings can't buy goaltending right now. They pulled Howard within the first few minutes after he allowed 3 goals, or I think it was 3 goals or 4 goals on 8 shots, something like that. Yeah. So the New York Islanders haven't scored 8 goals since Super Bowl Sunday of 2016. It was the last time they got 8 goals in a game. So congratulations on breaking that record and moving it up to 2020 against the Detroit Red Wings. So you're welcome. And a big side note for the Detroit Red Wings, Javonte Smith does get his first NHL goal. So congratulations on Javonte Smith. I do like him. I think he's going to be a good grinder, third, fourth line player. I think he would be a good addition. I'm looking forward to seeing him hopefully staying with the big league, a big team. Probably next year, I would assume he'll be called up and stay on the third, fourth line. We'll see what happens. The Pittsburgh Penguins go in and annihilate the Minnesota Wild. Minnesota has definitely dropped off. They had that hot streak. Like they might be able to push into the playoff, and they've bottomed out. They are pretty much done now. They're almost 10 points out of a playoff spot. Yeah, they're there's a couple more wins from these teams above them, and they're done. Big news out of this one. So the 7-3 was the final for Pittsburgh. Crosby's big game back. Big ta-da. I'm sure you guys have heard about it because all over the news that Crosby is back. He comes back and shows up in spectacular fashion, getting 4 points in this game. So, yeah, Crosby's back. And that's not good news for the rest of the league because Pittsburgh was already doing amazing without him. And now they got another player back who can score points at will almost. This team, again, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again, could possibly be Cup champions at the end of this year. If they keep playing like this, yes, they will be Stanley Cup champions because nobody's going to touch this team. I can't see this team losing right now. Even when they do lose, it's by a few points and they come back and then annihilate the next game. So again, not a big fan of Pittsburgh, but I give them kudos for everything they've been able to do and push through and persevere through this year. Next game, the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Boston Bruins. Columbus, I'm cheering hardcore for them. They go in, shut out the Boston Bruins 3-0. So the Jackets win in. Merzlikins gets back-to-back shutouts. So Elvis Merzlikins, 2 shutouts back-to-back. That's awesome and very impressive. He got his first NHL shutout the last game, second one tonight. Let's see how long the shutout streak's going to go. We'll keep track of that. We'll keep track of that for you guys. But yeah, I'm really liking Columbus right now. I'm hoping they make the playoffs. Again, they're still tied with the Philadelphia Flyers for the last wildcard spot. We'll see. Again, I'm excited to see what this team can do. I would love to see them with the playoffs and maybe be a sleeper in this playoffs, make it to the second or third. That'd be awesome. That'd just be awesome. I don't know how far they'd go, but it'd be awesome to see them make it and see how far this team could go. Next game, the Chicago Blackhawks, Ottawa Senators. 3-2 final for the Chicago Blackhawks. This went to overtime. The Hawks keep it going, so the Hawks are still pushing, trying to stay relevant in the playoff race. You're looking at about 54 points right now as a cutoff. They're at 48, so 6 points out. They're still above that line of you're pretty much done. 8 points, 7 to 8 points, you're pretty much done. They're at 6, so they're just above being done. So they're keeping it moving, keeping it climbing. I don't know how much longer they're going to keep it up this way. But good for the Blackhawks and their fan base to be able to say, hey, we're still in it. Don't forget about us. We still have Kane. We still have Taves. We have some good young players. Don't forget about us. Next, the Winnipeg Jets go in and beat Vancouver 4-0. So Hellebuck gets the shutout. So good for Connor Hellebuck. And yeah, the Jets, they needed that big win. They needed that big bounce back. In the Vancouver Canucks, that's another loss. They won 2 out of the last 5. I want to say 2 out of the last 5. Which isn't a great record. They had those 2 losses against the Florida teams. They had 2 big wins, and they lost tonight. So just, yeah. They're looking forward to going home before the All-Star break and getting a couple home games. They do play against Arizona, I want to say, Thursday. So that's a big game, too. Arizona obviously tops the division. That's a big divisional matchup I'm looking forward to watching. Next game, Arizona taking on the San Jose Sharks. Speaking of Arizona, right? Which is why I'm wearing the Phoenix jersey. And this is the Phoenix. The original Phoenix. Arizona goes in and beats the Sharks 6-3, and they stay on top of the division. So they were tied with Calgary. In the last review I did have Calgary above them still because Calgary lost the one night they should have swapped. That is my fault. So Arizona was the tops, and they win tonight, so they stay atop of it with 57 points. So yeah, big loss for San Jose again. They're trying to stay relevant, but they're in the same boat as Minnesota at this point. They're getting too far back, almost 10 points. You're pretty much done at that point. We'll see what happens. But big win for Arizona. Again, I'm cheering for Arizona. I like Arizona. I've been a fan of them because they've always been kind of an underdog. It's cool and nice to see them dogfighting for that top spot in the Pacific Division. And yeah, I'm looking and cheering for that team. Next, the Oilers go in and play the Nashville Predators. John Hines hasn't quite got this team figured out yet. They have been getting points. They've won a couple of games. They're getting close. They're only 5 points out of a playoff spot, but they do lose a big one tonight against the Edmonton Oilers, which is one of the teams they could be potentially chasing for a wild card spot. And I just wrote down it was the McDavid and Draisaitl show again. That's pretty much this team. I mean, yeah, Mike Smith has been really good lately, but it's McDavid and Draisaitl show. If those two are playing good, this team's winning. If they're not, they're not. They get 6 points, and on those 4 goals, they have 6 points between the two of them. So they have, between the two of them, 2 more points than what they have goals. That's pretty impressive. yeah, they're having amazing years. Like I said, like record-breaking years. I'm excited to see like Austin Matthews, see how many goals he can get, to see how many points McDavid and Draisaitl can end up with at the end of the year, see if they can set some high records, and maybe touch some of those ones that have been around for a really long time. And the last game of the night would be, that was 4-2, I think I mentioned that, but I can't remember. And then the last one, Dallas and Colorado, big divisional game, big divisional matchup. This is a 3-2 overtime win for the Dallas Stars. So the Dallas Stars go in and win this one overtime. The big news is, again, Colorado drops another one. So, yes, they gain a point, but their goaltending situation is struggling. Nathan McKinnon's been very good for them. He gets, I think, one of the goals and an assist on the 2 goals they did get. But again, they're only 2 points ahead of wild cards right now. They're one loss and one other win for some of these other teams, a win away from dropping to a wild card and really possibly being out with Vegas being so close. Yeah, they're looking at like the Colorado Avalanche could possibly drop out of the playoff race if they don't figure this out soon. I think they should be playing Francouz more. Grubauer has not been playing as good as they should. Not saying they should trade for a goaltender at the trade deadline. They think they could have Francouz, make Grubauer the backup right now, let him kind of get his game back that way. But yeah, they are struggling right now. The Colorado Avalanche definitely need to figure something out because, yeah, like I said, another week of mediocre winning and losing, you're looking at probably being in a wild card or dropping out. Anyways, those are your scores for Tuesday, January 14th. We are going into the standings real quick. I've kind of talked about it a little bit throughout, so we'll make this a little quick. Boston's still top of the Atlantic with 66, Tampa with 60, Toronto 56. That is the cutoff for the playoffs in that division. Florida with 53, Buffalo 49, Montreal 47, Senators with 40, and Detroit with 27. In your Metro, the Capitals are 67, the Penguins are 63, Islanders are 60, Carolina's 56, Philadelphia is 54, which is the cutoff. Blue Jackets are 54 as well. Rangers are 48, and the Devils are 41. So those are your Eastern Conference. Jumping over to the West, the Central Division, St. Louis Blues have 67 points. Dallas Stars, 58 points. Colorado, 56 points. Winnipeg, 54. That's the cutoff. I believe they are the last wildcard spot. I think it's Vancouver and Winnipeg, I think. I believe those are the 2 wildcards. Again, they just won as I did this video, so they don't update the standings that quickly. So I want to say it's Vancouver and then Winnipeg, but it could be slightly different like that. Or, yeah, these 3 are cutoffs, more or less. Anyways, Nashville's at 49. I have a playoff spot. Chicago's 48 and Minnesota 46. In your Pacific Division, which has been my favorite division this year because it's been so close. 57 points for Arizona now in first. Calgary Flames are 55. Edmonton Oilers are also 55, so that battle for Alberta, it's back. They are dogfighting it for playoff spots and first and second and third in that division, and first. You got Edmonton with 55, Vancouver with 54, which again I believe is the cutoff in the playoffs from that side. Vegas at 54, San Jose with 46, Kings with 41, and the Ducks with 39. So yeah, those are your updated standings and your scores for tonight. Again, there's a lot of hockey, a lot of fun tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed the videos. Give me a like and subscribe if you did. This is Zach from Say With Zach, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.